Welcome to It's All Fine and Dangy, where we talk about community, health, culture, and all of the big and little things that make life good. Here are your hosts, Dan and Angie.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2. And wow, things are running full speed ahead for us lately, aren't they?
They are, nonstop.
It's, we're super thankful and super excited, but we have been booking guests and planning out episodes and events that we're going to, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But anyway, it's been very exciting.
Very exciting.
So for the rest of this month, we're going to be talking about charity and philanthropy. I can't say it very well either.
It's a hard word.
It really is.
Philanthropy. You really have to think it out. Like when you're saying it, you got to be dedicated to pronouncing it. I know. It's like
I have to say it like this. We're going to be talking about charity and philanthropy.
I know, it's a hard one.
So basically, helping others in your community and what you can do to help. So we'll get into that a little bit further in the podcast in terms of details.
Yeah. So speaking of running full speed, right? What you just said. We are signed up for our first event this month, which is on April 18th, and that is the IOA Corporate 5K.
That's right.
So it happens in downtown Orlando. Huge event.
Yep.
I think 18,000 plus people will be there.
That's right.
Crazy. So if you've ever done that event, it's
massive.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I think one year I timed it, and just the walkers, the people that were just walking, it took like 35 or 45 minutes for them to just clear the area where you couldn't see them anymore.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Wow, that's going to be so fun.
Yeah, it's a huge event, and we're excited for that to be our first one. And they raise money to benefit the Second Harvest. I can't talk. The Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida.
Right.
The Love Pantry, which is also, it's like a school pantry project.
Yep.
And then also the Trackshack Youth Foundation.
Right.
So just helping student athletes and stuff like that.
Yeah, very nice.
And of course, if you want to sign up for the event, you don't have to come and participate, but you can just come check it out. It's really kind of awe-inspiring when you see that many people getting involved in something like this in the community.
Oh, yeah.
And so for more information, you can check that out at www.trackshack.com/event/90 will take you right to kind of the information page. So we're excited for that.
That's awesome. Here's where the techie Dan comes in. It's actually /. And here's how you can tell the difference. When the slash looks like it's going to fall to the right, it's a /. So like it's going to fall forward onto the other words. Anyway, whatever.
I bet they all knew what I was talking about.
I'm sure
everybody knew what I was talking about.
I wasn't trying to correct you, but
I know. It's good to know that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Because people that are techie would put in / and be like, that's wrong, Angie. And then I'd get in trouble.
Whatever.
So check it out. Yeah, check it out. Come out, support a good cause. You know, even if you can't support, just be there. Just your presence will support it, right?
Cheer people on.
You might, post something on Facebook or post something on any of your social media, and it might draw people to the event next year.
That's right. And speaking of which, that's exactly what I am going to be doing, and Angie's going to be doing while we're actually participating in the 5K. But of course, anywhere I go, I'm videoing and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing that as well while we're running. So that'll be. Yeah. We'll have some cool stuff up on our YouTube page for that.
Well, I don't know if we'll be running, but we're definitely going to walk that 5K. We might do some speed walking.
Okay. I'm going to try to run a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So I'm going to jump right into our first segment, which we're referring to as This and That, as I mentioned in the last episode. And I'm going to try not to say podcast because I said it 417 times in the last episode.
Yeah, I think we'll have a contest for everybody to listen to the first episode so that they can see how many times there was keywords me and you said.
Oh,
that shows you we don't go back and edit it out because it was hilarious, everybody. Hilarious.
Right. So, and I think the show's going very well, and we're very proud of it, but it's pretty funny. If you haven't heard the first episode yet, I encourage you to go back and listen to the first episode.
Don't make a drinking game out of it. We're just going to warn you right now.
We can't be responsible.
We're not held responsible for this if you do it.
So the first segment of the show here is called This and That, after we get things kicked off. And that's really for us to talk about just what's going on right now in our lives, how our last week was, whatever we've been up to. One of the things that Angie and I did this weekend is we went to a blueberry farm, which was really cool. And then we went to see some local street theater, which was really interesting as well.
Yeah, the blueberry picking was amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. It was fun.
And Rachel went with us.
That's right. She did.
Yes. And we'll have some more information at the end of the show on how you can do the blueberry picking on your own.
That's right.
Definitely encourage
You didn't
that.
say strawberry.
Yeah, okay. Where did you post that at?
Well, I posted that on our YouTube channel, and I think I posted it on the Facebook. If not, I'll do that. But we're putting together a little bit of a...
Everybody can have a good laugh.
It was hilarious. We're putting together a bit of a blooper reel as we proceed.
I'm sure there will be a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway...
yeah, and you know what else we managed to do?
What's that?
We're very busy. We don't have time for this very often, but we managed to squeeze in a little bit of one of our favorite shows.
Oh, that's right. We did.
Yes, because we've always had like a show that we've watched together in our spare time.
Yep.
When a little bit. Sometimes
That's
we do
true.
a little bit of binge watching late at night.
We don't have a lot of time for shows, though. That's the thing about us. We have time for maybe one, and we don't really have time to watch it. I started to say live, but who does that anymore? Because it's Netflix.
Yeah.
But we don't have time to watch more than like one episode of stuff.
Yeah. So, we didn't even make it through a whole episode last night. So we started watching again the OA.
The OA. That is the coolest, weirdest show, and I highly recommend it.
So
and
weird.
I'm such a critic, but that is a good one.
Yeah. But then we realized that we didn't even remember
how the old season ended. Yeah, we got to go back.
So we watched, went to the last episode, watched a little bit, and we're like, we don't remember that. We don't remember. Well, how did they get there? Like 20 questions.
Right.
So I think we're going to have to go back and kind of scan through each
I think
episode.
so too. I think you're right.
I hate, though, because it takes up, the time. That's valuable time.
The time we have, that's true. I think we have to. At least maybe one or two episodes just to kind of remind us. But
that show started off so weird to begin with.
Didn't it?
It was like, so figure what is going on? And it started off the same way this time.
I know.
So,
and not to spoil it, but maybe just like a teaser. If you're interested in the show, I even posted about it in my blog one time because it kind of got in my head. But it's about a girl that like disappears from her family for like 10 years or maybe less, maybe 5 years. But she's blind. She's born blind, and then when she comes back, she's not blind anymore. And she knows all these weird movements that supposedly like harness the strength of the universe or something, but she can't tell if it's real, or if she's making it up. It's really, really cool. So highly recommend it.
It's an interesting.
And some of our other favorites are like Breaking Bad. That was like, to me, the best show that's ever been on TV.
That's the first show we watched together.
Yep. The Handmaid's Tale. That was another one that you really loved. I liked it. You loved it.
Yeah. Some people found that one very controversial.
Very true. Speaking of which, Game of Thrones.
Oh, woohoo.
That's a favorite for sure.
April, when is it?
I think
April
it does come back.
14th, I think.
Oh, is it? Is it that soon?
Yes.
Is it really? It's this month.
Yes, and this is the last season.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know it was this soon.
And you know what
crazy.
I get? You know what I get to have?
You get to open your Game of Thrones wine.
I have a bottle of wine that you got for me.
Yep.
2 Christmases ago.
And I hope it didn't go bad.
Whatever. I'm still going to drink it. It's
so,
going to be like vinegar.
Yeah, that's going to be our big...
I'm chilling it in little cooler, my little wine cooler.
Our Game of Thrones celebration.
Oh, and I have a goblet to put it into because you got me the goblet.
Oh, we're nerding out.
And your mom has the goblet too.
I know. I love it. To make sure she's using it. The Cersei.
Yeah, the Cersei goblet.
The Walking Dead. I still watch The Walking Dead. I have Angie watching it sometimes. Rachel and I still watch it religiously. It's getting hard to watch, and not because it's gross or anything. It's just, in my opinion, and props and much respect to every artist on the planet. As an artist, I have nothing but appreciation for the work, but the script is a little hard for me to tolerate lately. It's becoming
very comical to me right now.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit of a comedy. I will say this.
And hey, look, I was an avid watcher with you guys too, and loved it, and was so excited. I mean, that was our Sunday, right? Like, oh, Walking Dead.
That's
or Monday, maybe it used to be Mondays or something.
It's Sunday. I think now we download it from iTunes, so we watch it on Monday.
Yeah. So, I used to be super excited, but, we all lose interest in things. You can't keep our attention forever. Can't keep most people's attention forever. But there's parts of it that are cool, but I usually just find myself kind of critiquing it.
Yeah, I know.
And I hate to do that when you're you know.
I think that's
You
kind
guys
of...
are so vested now. It's like,
You know what, though?
can't.
You'll
can't
notice
even.
that we tell a lot of jokes during it now because
Yeah.
it's like, what are they doing? It's like a typical horror movie. Like, don't go in there. You just heard a noise. That kind of stuff. Or, I got an idea. Now that we're all safe, let's a few of us just go out by ourselves into the woods and look straight at each other instead of behind us where zombies could be.
Well, the zombies always sneak up on
I know.
people
I love
anyway,
it. They're only loud when they're a foot from them. But
Yeah, exactly.
anyway, Rachel and I still enjoy the show. We're still sticking with it.
I know you are.
Another one that you and I used to watch was The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh gosh, if you have not watched that one, people, I'm telling you,
Yes. If you...
it's not so scary. Well, the name sounds like The Haunting of Hill House. It's
Yeah.
not so scary where
Yeah, I didn't
it's
think it was,
terrifying,
but when we watched it with Rachel and she likes horror movies and stuff, she said, "Oh, it was." There's a couple of jump scares. It's definitely creepy, but
it's creepy.
I highly recommend that one because there's a lot of hidden stuff, and I won't run too much here. But if you watch it, just look around the background in almost every scene, and you'll be like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice that." It's really, really well done.
Yeah.
So, but that was a 1-season show, I think.
And you know what? Yeah, you know what I remember happening after that.
What?
You were afraid of things in the house.
Whatever.
Monsters. and
Look, I only believe in
creepy
ghosts.
things.
I only believe in ghosts for 24 hours after every scary thing I've ever seen on TV. After
Dan-
that, I'm fine.
Dan always hears weird noises in the house. It's just the house creaking. It's an old house, okay?
Whatever.
It's the pipes.
I'm a 47-year-old man who's afraid to have when we sit at the dinner table, my chair is against, the back
monster
of my
window.
chair faces the sliding glass door, which faces our dark backyard. It's the monster window, so I have to close the curtains while I sit there.
Oh, no.
I saw too many Friday the 13th when I was a kid. That is a
No.
perfect spot for Jason to burst through.
Now, the best is that we have to close the bathroom and master closet door every night because
Whatever. That's where the
Daniel
monsters are.
cannot
I just
sleep.
for kids that may be listening, we are totally kidding. It's just funny to tease me because I get a little creeped out by noises and stuff, especially after watching a scary movie. It gets in my head a little bit. So, but I love them. I love them. But we do need a new show,
Yeah. I mean, we have the OA, so I think that'll keep us busy. But if anybody wants to send us some suggestions we like kind of figure it out stuff,
Yep.
so that
And we're
would be
good
awesome.
at figuring it out. So if there's stuff that's hard to figure out, we like those. Yeah.
But also, we really love comedies, and it's hard to find a good sitcom
It really
now.
is. Now,
I mean,
I watch Silicon Valley, and it's completely and totally inappropriate for children, just for the record. I like that one a lot, but you and I don't have a comedy, and that's been off the air for a year, it feels like.
we
so.
know Friends is my comedy. I mean, I watch it so many. It's ridiculous.
I like that, though. So if you guys have
But I don't really sit and watch it. It's like
background.
It's background.
Yeah, we
I
mentioned
really-
that in episode 1. That's your sleep show.
It's funny too. It's like even when you're not home, you guys aren't home,
Yep.
and I'm doing homework or I'm working, I have to have background noise. I'm somebody that doesn't work well in complete silence.
Right.
So I have to have background noise, and I put Friends on because they're like my friends.
That's awesome.
They're my friends.
Well, you had a good point though. I've mentioned in the last episode that if you have suggestions or you want to reach out to us about a topic that we talked about, maybe ran out of time, or you have more input or things you just want to talk about. It was a little heavy in the first episode where I talked about, if you're struggling, and we still feel that calling or emailing about that is huge. But if you just want to goof around and say, hey, I like the show, I don't like the show, or hey, you guys should watch this television show. We'd love to get comments and feedback
Yeah.
like that.
Tell us what we're doing good. Tell us what we can improve.
Sure.
I mean, everybody can improve.
Yeah. And tell us what new comedies to watch.
Yes, please give us one.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. And so we're going to take a very quick break, and we'll be back with our community call out. Please stay tuned. We have a couple of great guests this week, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, I've had lower back problems for most of my adult life, and so I've had some mixed results with different chiropractors, some not so good. So I've always been a little skeptical of that. That is, until I met Dr. Christina at Revival Chiropractic. Now, the first time you go into Revival Chiropractic, they'll walk you through the process they use. It's a very specific science-based, neurological-based protocol they use. And after going there for a year and having both of my teenagers go there for a year and Angie go there for a year as well, we've either seen a complete recovery from or a dramatic reduction of things like chronic headaches, chronic migraines, even stomach issues, and some other upper spinal issues that we have in the family. So they have very affordable plans. Dr. Christina, Dr. Brittany, we call them Dr. C and Dr. B, as well as the other staff, Jewel, Savannah, and Alexi. Everyone is great. The place is amazing. They do food drives throughout the year and school supply drives throughout the year, client appreciation events. They give back to the community. The place is great. Check them out. Revival Chiropractic. Go to revivalchiropractic.com to find out more. Okay, so it's time for our community call out. And I just wanted to remind everyone that this month's topic is charity. I'm going to say it right this time. Philanthropy. That's right. Essentially just helping others in need. And that's why we are so excited for today's guest. We have two guests today, actually. We've got Natalie Casey from Trackshack and Christina Bishop from IOA. And IOA stands for the Insurance Office of America. They host the 5K. It's been going for, 25 years running now, pardon the pun. And it's an amazing event. Angie and I are super excited to take part in it. So
yes, so excited. So ladies, before we get started with the details surrounding the 5K, can you each tell me a little bit about yourself and what got you started with this event?
I'm Natalie, and I'm with Trackshack, and I have been with Trackshack for 30 years. Wow. I was 10 when I started, so
wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm extremely young is what I was trying to get. I'm very young. But the Corporate 5K is 25 years old, so I was there for the very first one.
Wow.
And fun fact is I was pregnant with my son at the time, so I didn't do much at that first one except for maybe help promote, and I think I poured water that first night.
Right.
But it was out at Lake Eola. That's what I did at the very beginning, and now 25 years later, I work on the marketing, advertising, social media, communications, media, things like that. So
that's awesome.
So Natalie, how do you start marketing for this event? Do you start a year ahead of time for the event coming up next year? What's the process?
We pretty much market year round. We stay in touch with our participants year round by email, but we start to go online and let people register starting in September. And then, sort of softly, giving people hints about getting healthy the rest of the year. And then January, we really ramp it up because it makes logical sense, right? New year. And that's right. But our companies, our participants, probably even the team that you participate on, they start planning probably September, October, because they start, getting budgets for registrations and getting their tents and things like that reserved. Because that's, as you can probably, as you guess from your experience, the tent aspect of the hospitality tent is huge.
Yeah, the tent aspect is pretty cool, definitely. So, Christina, what about you? How did you get involved in this event?
All right, so I'm Christina Bishop, and I work with Insurance Office of America, better known as IOA.
Right.
And I've been there just about 6 years. And so I started there in an HR role and now work in organizational training and development. But how I really got involved in the IOA Corporate 5K was as an employee. I ran my first race about 6 years. Well, I guess it would be 5 years ago. 5 years. I haven't quite hit 6 years yet. So about 5 years ago, I got involved with it. I ran with it. And now that I do all the training and development for the organization, I'm sort of not new to speaking and talking to people and sort of being the face of IOA internally.
Yeah.
And so now I have the privilege to kind of serve and serve in any capacity that they need, whether it's promoting the event, participating in podcasts such as this one,
Very cool.
and getting excited with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
very excited.
That's great.
Love
Well,
it.
this event is huge, isn't it? I mean, I think we were counting, how many people did?
I think
normally?
last year it was like over 18,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Wow.
there at the event last year, and I was hosting the RDV's tent.
Oh,
And
exciting.
I actually recorded, I was trying to find the recording. I actually recorded when just the walkers, and it took, I think, over 35 minutes
For them to clear.
just to clear.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So
How exciting.
definitely excited to be a part of it this
So,
year.
so I have a question. How did the 5K initially come to be? So I'm curious. I mean, and if you could take us through that and maybe the growth of it up until the size it is now.
Sure. It was not the first corporate event in Orlando. And for those who are listening, might recall another event we did down in downtown Orlando. It was called the YMCA Corporate Cup. It was sponsored by Red Lobster.
Oh, wow.
And it started and finished at
Interesting.
Church Street. It was a different concept at that time. It was 4-person teams and things like that. So it was entirely different. And it was probably 1,000, 2,000 person event. So it had an entirely different format. So we were approached by a group in Miami who wanted to bring their corporate concept from Miami up here to Central Florida. And it was a different concept for us. And we we were kind of concerned about it because they get pretty big numbers down in South Florida at their event. Again, entirely different format how it works, but we were just a little skeptical, like
that it would be too big, too fast, kind of thing.
Well, we just like it's not going to work here. We just we
okay.
were like it's probably not going to work here,
Gotcha.
that type of thing. Because we were pretty much the owners of running in Central Florida, and if we hadn't achieved big numbers, then certainly nobody else could have it.
I see.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, but what's interesting about the concept is, though, it is unlimited. So when a company participates, not only can it's their employees that participate, but they now can invite their vendors, their friends and family. So
Sure.
the other format we were talking about was just people you had to work for a company. It was very competitive. So there was a lot of bragging rights associated with the corporate cup. That
Got a
used
little
to
too
happen.
competitive.
Right.
Yeah, and it was very narrow. So it was a very
Yeah.
narrow, it was a little exclusive at that time.
Sure.
So this one was like when you sign up your team, you sign up your corporate umbrella, under the IOA, then you can invite your family, friends,
Oh, that's
people you
awesome.
do business with.
Right.
Because everybody who participates belongs to an organization one way or another.
Right.
That's true.
Or friends or
Yeah.
family of the organization or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you
Yes.
think of your family, I mean, you're off to work all day, and they're missing you while you're at work or whatever. It's great that you can bring family members in
Right,
like that,
yeah.
and they can feel like they're a part of the company that your loved one works at. That's pretty
absolutely.
awesome. Yeah,
And it has now become a company picnic, really. It's a nighttime company picnic.
it's
and,
a
Yeah.
party.
I think
it is a party.
I think the website says Orlando's largest office party. Actually,
really
So
is.
It is
It
great.
is.
The energy's
It definitely
amazing.
is,
The energy's
yeah.
amazing down there because everybody's just there for the same cause, And I love seeing everybody, just moving. Moving is
Absolutely.
great. And so people love to do 5Ks. I think once you do them, you get hooked. And I hate to admit this, being a health coach, but this is actually going to be my first 5K.
I know. I'm so excited.
Don't ask me.
Hey,
Don't
how
ask me
happened?
why.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it's just one of those things. Like you sign up for something and then it's a blizzard or like it's not a blizzard, not down here, but it's like raining, freezing, cold rain. And I'm like, that's not going to be my first one. No, that's not going to be my
That's
first
true.
experience.
That's right. You were going to do a different one, and it was freezing rain. That's right.
So after last year, I'm like, I have to do this one. When I saw that just the energy there, I'm like, yeah, we have to do this one. But people love to go. They love to enter. And hopefully they love to volunteer, right? But do you find there's an area in that, in volunteering that you need more, like, do you need more volunteers? Do you need more donations? Is there an area that's lacking a little more when it comes to collecting or having people volunteer their time for it?
Well, we can talk about some of the cool things that companies do to raise food and funds, which is really, Christina's got an excellent story there. But we use about 358, that was last year's number, 360 volunteers
Oh, wow.
on race night. And they do everything from serve water at 2 different water stops.
Right.
There's a tremendous amount of volunteers that we use for crowd control. For getting, you mentioned the walker start. We do a lot of directing people into those locations and
Sure.
things like that. We also do a significant food collection at the event. So, you start adding up all those
Yes.
cans
Gotta
and
go
hauling.
somewhere.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes. So we definitely use a lot of volunteers. People can still volunteer by going to the website at corporate5k.com, and if they want to still volunteer to work at a water stop or work at refreshments afterward.
Excellent.
We use a lot of volunteers on race night.
Excellent. That's a
good.
common question I think we ask, just because sometimes you get a lot of volunteers, but maybe there's one particular area where you need more or you
that
need
people
more donations.
don't want. Some
yeah.
people tend to go towards the fun stuff, and then maybe you need somebody getting all the trash out or something, and
Yeah.
people not necessarily want to raise their hand for that one. You know?
You're absolutely right, because we do try and have a significant effort to capture recyclables.
Yes, you guys do.
Yes, we
Oh,
work
that's
very hard
awesome.
at it, and it's a lot of times it is a volunteer function, and sometimes you're in there separating that which is recyclable and that which is not. So,
Sure.
So you have to have some humility when we go to volunteer.
yes,
definitely.
that is
And gloves.
exactly right.
And gloves.
Humility and gloves. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are absolutely right. It's for the love of the event. Yes.
yes.
All right. So I have a question for Christina first here, but can you tell us a little bit about the charities that benefit from the run and why IOA has chosen these charities to help? That's the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida, the Trackshack Youth Foundation, which I read a little bit more about last week, and the Love Pantry. I guess that's the school pantry project, as it's called.
Yeah, I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, sure. And I believe actually Trackshack selects the charities. They're in the selection process there. So as a group and as an employer, we do a lot of things to raise awareness for our staff and get them involved in ways that they can participate in those, even if they're unable to participate in the race. They can still donate. They can bring in canned goods. We do a lot of things, but I believe they're selected by Trackshack.
Is that right?
We do. We part of the year-round effort, we do work with IOA year-round, and really the idea of Second Harvest Food Bank came in a couple of years ago, where we were looking for an additional charity that we could all wrap our arms around. Obviously, you read about the Trackshack Foundation.
Right.
We can surely chat about that.
Sure.
But we were looking for another way to really engage the corporate population, the team population, and the way we've done it now is with the 100 Meal Challenge. So we've asked companies to participate either in this way by either donating $25 or 150 pounds of food. So that because it equals, if you give $25, it equals 150.
Wow, that's some perspective.
Yes,
Wow.
of pounds of food. So it became more tangible than just paying your entry fee and having it go to the foundation, which is awesome, by the way.
Sure.
But this has a little bit more tangible effects. And we also, a few years ago, added the bring food to the event. So people raise funds by giving money and by bringing food. Because it was also brought to our attention a few years ago that in like downtown Orlando, like the Christian Service Center and Love Pantry, their shelves are stocked heavily around the holidays.
Right, of
but
course.
they go into these dips in the summertime. So our event really kind of came at a great time where
To get
shelves
people
That's
out.
wonderful.
yeah, and then also with student pantries, school pantries,
Yes.
now sometimes operating year round, it's been extremely helpful for them to have an influx of cans and contributions
During
and,
the slower times, yeah.
Yes, and I don't want to miss the opportunity for them to talk about what they do, what they've done this year, unfortunately photos won't
Yes.
matter here, but we do have pictures.
We can put photos up.
Okay, yes,
Absolutely.
we've got some pictures, and they do a tremendous job. Probably I don't want to say better than anybody else, but they do a wonderful job year round, and this is just one of the things that they devote their charitable focus
Yeah. How
on.
do the employees participate?
Sure. So there's multiple ways, and sort of I think our most popular and our biggest outreach each month, we actually select an organization where we allow our employees to donate $20. And then they get to wear jeans for the entire month. So we call it our
that's
IOA
great.
jeans outreach.
Wow, that's awesome.
So when you're in a professional
wonderful.
environment, it's really
Yes.
nice to just throw on some jeans and go to work. And each month we're raising about $2,500 from our Longwood corporate location towards that local charity. And of course, in March, it was for Second Harvest Food Bank. So if you think about that, $25 is 150 pounds of food, and we raised $2,500 just at the staff in our Longwood location.
Wow.
So that is a huge opportunity to contribute to the community that has a big impact.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's
so
awesome
you guys
to
stay
hear.
in contact with the companies throughout the year, not just leading up to this event.
That's great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And people can
Keep
donate.
that relationship.
Yes, they
going.
can donate to Second Harvest Food Bank all year round by the website. Of course, they can go to the website directly, but if their website, but they can go to corporate5k.com and donate year round any time. Of
But
the
it
year.
does
Excellent.
it does seem like during those holiday seasons, and people do have more of a sense of giving, or when there's an event like this, and it kind of gets everybody pumped up and jazzed up for the giving.
Sure.
So,
And it makes you remember, become more aware of.
yes, that our people are actually in need, but we need to realize that all year long.
yes.
And we're glad that you guys are
Absolutely.
doing that. Yes.
And one of the other neat things that they did was we saw from the photos is the high five kids packs that they made. So it looked to me from the pictures that I saw, looked like they were targeting very specific items for kids' meals.
Yes.
Oh, that's
and I think they
wonderful.
followed a list, and which is really thoughtful. It's
Sure,
a very thoughtful
yeah.
way
Yes,
of
that is very nice.
not just cans of food, but things that are specific to what kids
appealing,
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and appealing to kids because
Yes.
they don't always want a can of corn to
Right.
eat for dinner, or something like
asparagus,
that.
right?
Asparagus.
All these things I love.
Yeah.
Right?
Canned peas.
Right, exactly.
Love that too.
Exactly. Well, and I think that's just a great way. That was another opportunity. Not all of our employees are able to participate in the 5K for whatever various
Yeah.
reasons.
Of course,
so
yeah.
we also had a fun event where people could bring in those selected items that were on the list, and then each item that they brought in, they got a ticket into a drawing, and there was an opportunity to win a gift. So there's this huge pile of these items that are ready to be brought over, again, just by people who want to, when they're grocery shopping over the weekend, let me grab some of those and some little gummies.
I want a ticket.
Right.
Well, I want a jeans pass at work. Is there an annual version of that?
There might be.
And, that's the thing. When we started to work with IOA on this matter, that was such a wonderfully simple way to do it. And I think everybody could do that in their office.
Yes.
A jeans day, can you imagine how nice that would be? And I love the idea of a ticket, entered into a drawing for something fun.
Yeah, people,
Absolutely.
it's like the golden ticket, like people like those little tickets.
They do.
It's a
I
very
want the ticket.
clever
I
way to
want
get
the
people
ticket.
involved and to make it fun.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just curious, because of the sort of relationship between Trackshack and IOA, do you guys have other events that you collaborate on, or is this the big one? The where you it is the 5K.
Yeah, this is the big one.
Anything in different cities, or is it pretty much here in Orlando
With IOA or in general for us? For
that you
Trackshack?
guys collab on?
We do not. I think that there's still a long-term vision to try and do the corporate 5K in other markets with them. Actually, they do have one in Tampa. We don't necessarily work on it, but it might have been a week ago.
I think it was. I think it was
wow.
the week
cool.
before.
Yeah, an IOA corporate 5K in Tampa. Very much the same model.
Okay, is it the same people that run that? Is it the same owners of the other 5K, or is it different everywhere you go?
It would be different everywhere we go. Just we have figured out that we do our best work here.
Sure.
Yeah.
But John and Betsy Hughes, who own the business, they have connections in other cities, so it's in our best interest to connect the good people in other cities and say,
of course,
do
See
what you guys
can
do best. Yeah. And we know who the good partners are in different cities, and we know IOA is a wonderful partner, so let them all do their good work together.
I love that. So it's sort of one of the philosophies I've said on the show is that the idea of competition and when you're giving in charities and stuff doesn't really make sense. There is a limitless amount of giving that can be done. It's not like, another charity is going to take your lunch or whatever. So that's that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Connections are good. They're strong. Good relationship building is smart.
Whoever we can help.
Yes.
That's the idea.
Exactly right.
So we know that the kind of the theme of the corporate 5K is corporate wellness. So what are you doing within your walls to promote that? What kind of things do you have going year round in your companies, as well as when it's leading up to something like this? Like what kind of things do you do to keep that, corporate wellness in mind of the people that work there?
Sure. Well, I'm happy to answer that. So we do sort of sporadic programs throughout the year. We do have a wellness initiative where even we give our employees the opportunity to have reduced health insurance premiums by participating in our wellness program, which is phenomenal.
Yes.
Who doesn't love to save money?
Yes.
Sign me up.
Yeah, it's a win-win, isn't it?
That is a win-win. But outside of that, even things such as in some years they've provided activity trackers to staff. They've contributed to things like Weight Watchers when people needed it, or signed up to have walking groups and step challenges. Last year we did this big I guess you call it was a step challenge. We had teams all over the United States in various locations sort of signed up, and there'd be a team captain. You could record your steps, and that was really kind of neat. And there were prizes for winners there. So there's a variety of things. We do have some groups that twice a day get up from their desks and they have these 5 to 7 minute workouts, and they'll have somebody sort of leading it, doing chair dips and, crunches. And I've even seen our CEO come by when they were doing it, like, get down and do some push-ups with.
I love it.
What a fun environment.
Yeah. So just different little things. Again, we encourage people to get up, move from your desk, take a walk outside, of course, weather permitting.
Get some vitamin D.
Get some vitamin D. You've got to have it. Absolutely, we want to encourage that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah.
I got to stop by just so I can see that happening at lunchtime.
It's funny.
It is funny. And actually, we did ours at 2:30 today, so I had an opportunity to do my push-ups and ab work. But it is funny. I'm not sure if it's the same in your office, but at any time you can hear the groans, from the push-ups and the planking. We try to plank for a minute, and there's usually some groans as people walk by, looking at you somewhat oddly. But, it's a smart way to gather, to get up from your desk. Because, sitting all day, what did I say? Sitting is the new smoking?
Yes.
So,
oh, my goodness.
So we...
Yes,
just when you need it most.
Yeah, I mean,
we've got personal experience. I've been sitting in a chair for 30 years, pretty much. So, wellness coach. I've learned in the past few years about exactly what you're talking about, the importance of getting up and moving around, and we'll disappear into our screens for hours sometimes without getting up unless I have a reminder. So that's great.
Time to get moving.
That's right.
Love
Did
my
you stand
activity
up
tracker.
today? Did you move around?
The competitive nature is great.
Yeah. And our watches alert us to the fact that it's time to
yells
move.
at us.
Yes.
Move. Okay, it's time to get moving.
Yeah, I know. And you're in a competition with yourself. Like we have the Apple Watches. Whoops, I'm not close enough. I already know it. And the little rings that go around, you look at it, I'm getting that ring today.
Or like your workout doesn't even count if you forgot to start it. Somehow you feel like I got to do it again now because I didn't get logged. Mm-hmm. That's too funny. Well, that's great. So I wanted to also ask you guys about you do some cool things and give out some pretty awesome awards at the 5K. Can you tell us about some of those things you do, like the contests?
Sure. One of the other fun things about the Corporate 5K is that there's 18 different industry categories. So in addition to the T-shirt contest and the Large Team Award and the Workplace Wellness Award, which is presented by RDV, that recognizes the person in the office that really is the one that is the leader, not necessarily the physical leader, but the one who is always demonstrating a healthy lifestyle, whether they're dragging everybody out to the middle of the office for push-ups or, just lives that lifestyle and encourages others to do the same, like encourages a drinking water challenge, or maybe they inspire somebody by their ultra distance races, a half Ironman or an Ironman kind of thing. But that's what the Workplace Wellness Award does. It recognizes that person. But the industry categories, I wanted to mention that because you said your company is an engineering company.
They are, yes.
So there's a category for, I think, engineering and architecture, I believe it is. So we recognize the top 3 teams for men, women, and mixed. So it's very competitive. And actually, I think the engineering and architecture is the largest and most competitive category.
It's not surprising.
Wow.
There's healthcare, there's theme park, there's computers and electronics, I think. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And the teams really enjoy seeing who their competitors are, not only out in the market, but also on race day.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fun thing.
And it's a healthy competition because it's you're really just encouraging each other by being competitive. It's like, oh, no, I'm going to beat.
Yeah, we're going to beat that firm. Yeah. So it's.
And what
it's
does it do?
thing.
It takes in just all the people that are signed up in those groups. It takes in their time. Is it? It's by time, correct?
It's by time.
Okay.
And it's which is another thing that makes this event unique. It's all self-reporting. So this event is not timed using a computer chip or anything like that. So it's sort of, it's the honesty. It's
I'm going to do it in 15 minutes. I knew it.
Yes. And you know what? We do not have any way of checking.
I'm totally
honestly.
kidding.
So
Yeah.
You come across the line and you report your finish time to your team captain.
Sure.
And then at the end of the night, they input them. And the next day, the results pop up and we see who the fastest are in the, in the insurance category, or the theme park, or the retail, and, all of those.
You have to assume, too, if you're going to go to all the effort to go to this and take part in it, then the last thing you're going to do is make up your time, I would think.
I would hope so.
And there's a CEO category as well, so that, we have an opportunity to see who the fastest male and fastest female CEOs are in this area. So
cool.
It's kind of fun, too.
Cool.
That's great.
Well, to Angie's point earlier that it took, 35 minutes for the walkers to even get to the start line. So when you go to record your time, make sure to subtract whatever time it was when you actually hit the start. Because
excellent
the
point.
alarm will go and you might stand still for 10 minutes before you even move.
Yeah.
So make sure to track your start time also so you can subtract it from your finish
excellent
time.
tip.
It is just amazing. And you guys don't you do something else with the Spoon Award?
We do.
I love that one.
It goes to the company that raises the most food and funds for Second Harvest Food Bank.
I love it.
So
who won last year?
It's actually this company it's a traveling trophy, and they've had it for 2 years, which is Green Spoon Martyr.
Wow.
Yes.
Excellent.
They do. They have owned that for the last 2 years, and I think
they're proud of it.
They are proud of it. Yes. They host the awards reception, and so that's really when they finally after they've done a lot of coercing in the office and things like that, twisting arms and things like that.
Right.
That's when we know. So I don't know how they're doing now, but
Okay.
we'll know after
You'll
the
find
award
out.
ceremony at the end of April.
Very cool. And then there's the T-shirt award too. That's pretty cool. The
Yes.
T-shirt design. I mean,
Yeah.
that just keeps people involved from like the beginning. So I
Yes.
think that's pretty cool too.
There were about 38 submissions, I think, this year. It's also on the website.
We were one of them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you had an opportunity to see.
Sure.
And there's some great designs out there.
Yeah,
Did you
there's
see who
some-
won?
I did not.
It's the bright green shirt with the footprint or
Yeah,
the shoe with
a
it's all
real-
colorful. Yeah,
real colorful.
I don't remember the
It was,
company name.
OUC.
Who was it? OUC.
Oh.
Oh, you see,
Yes.
yeah. It was
Very
nice, a nice design.
Awesome.
So,
Well, I didn't vote for EXP. I voted for the one, now I can't remember. It had a cute little saying on it about, in like cursive writing. Now, I should know.
I'm going to guess.
It
Was it on the gray shirt?
Yes, the gray shirt.
That
Yes.
would be Ann Barr.
It was.
Did you see that one?
It was
yeah,
so
I think it was
cute.
Yes, yeah. Well, they always do a nice job.
It was girly looking. That's why I chose
And it's
it.
fun to see them. Well, it's fun to
But
see
it
them
was
on
a
race
cute,
night.
It was a cute saying, and now can't remember what it was. But it was
can't
really,
either.
it was a nice little quote, and it had something to do about running in there and going the distance or something like that.
Awesome.
It was
Well,
very
that's
cute.
another way to get people involved. That's great.
Yeah, get the creativity juices flowing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I want to give a big thank you to you guys for coming on. We are super excited to come do the event. And I know this
Me
event's
especially.
already huge, but hopefully we bring more awareness to it so that it can grow even more.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
People
And-
in our little local town of Apopka.
That's right.
Do you have a lot of Apopka businesses that take part in it?
We do. I don't have all of those committed to my memory, but it was
Probably hard
interesting.
to keep track.
It is because the way we see it, we see them people by their personal addresses. So
Okay.
yeah, so we definitely, when you think of where people work,
Sure.
the
Yes.
employment centers are. So definitely Apopka was well represented.
Oh, good.
One thing I just wanted to add, if people still want to
absolutely.
register, if that's okay.
Yep, I was gonna ask you that.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
that's
So
great.
registration is still open. You can register through race night. So now through the 17th, it's $33. I should have this committed to my memory. May I look
That's
at my-
okay. We can put this information on fineanddangy.com along with a link.
$31.
Okay.
Yes. Through the 17th, and then it's $40 on the day of the event.
But
and
it
it's-
goes towards a good cause.
It does go to a good cause, and it's the information, all this information is available at corporate5k.com.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. And again, we'll put that information to make it available to everyone listening, along with links and all the information that you guys want to share.
And if you have those pictures of the fun stuff that
Yeah.
you're talking about, the pictures, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
share them with us. We'd
Yes,
love
I
to,
definitely
we'd love
have
to
people.
post them.
Yeah, and I could even send you the picture of the winning T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So
That'd be fun to put up too.
I could have put a snapshot, or I could have done like a little snapshot on my computer of
Yes.
that too. Unless you have a better one, that might be.
So-
I have all the submissions.
Yeah,
So-
that would probably be better.
I have old pictures somewhere. Angie can vouch for this. I was going through like old discs. I don't even have anything that'll read a disc anymore. And I'm going through binders of discs trying to find one labeled that, and I just don't know where they are now. But my company's been doing it for a long time. And admittedly, I haven't been back in a few years, so I'm excited to go again this year.
And you get to go for my first one.
I
How
know.
exciting
It's
is
going to
that?
be great.
I think we might be walkers, though.
I still want to try to run part of it, but we'll see how it goes.
You know, we're going to have
We'll
like all
see.
these cameras and stuff, like
Yes.
Right.
filming.
Oh, we'll be
and so-
filming and all that kind of stuff
Oh,
out there
yes.
too
Oh, yes.
for the show.
Most people in this day and age do a walk-run combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very popular thing. The whole interval,
Yes.
run 5 minutes, walk a minute, that type of thing, and that's how people remain injury-free.
That's right.
Right.
They're being sensible about it, and they're doing it for health and fitness as opposed to
Of course.
record setting,
That's right.
Right.
and it keeps them injury-free and
Yes.
feeling better.
So I have one more question for you guys. Do you have any fun stories or inspiration about the event or about the foundation that you'd like to share?
Absolutely. One of the things that we kind of uncovered this year was a real unique team that is participating. We have 600 teams, so
that's
everybody's
a lot.
got a story. But this
Sure.
one just struck me. I ran into a guy who had last year's shirt on. So because of the nature of who I am, I asked him, tell me a little bit about you, your team. I'm
Right.
known for snapping pictures of people in like cupcake shops. Like, may I take a picture of you in your corporate 5K?
Oh, I love it. Right.
So anyways, this young man was telling me about how he got involved. He's not a runner by nature, but he was telling me that his construction company joins a team that already participates. So it's
I
Orlando
see.
Lutheran Towers. And so what they do there is they invite their vendors and things like that to participate with them. So I was like, tell me a little bit more about that, because I remember last year at the event, I came across a lady who was 90 who did the event.
This is
Wow.
awesome.
She happened to finish the race in the darkness. She and her ladies, they all had their Orlando Lutheran Tower
that's so
shirts
cool.
on. And she was absolutely beautiful. This lady was vibrant in the dark. Did you hear me say she was
Yes.
Wow.
in the
Yes.
dark? How many 90-year-olds are out, walking on brick streets in the dark?
Right.
So I was like, I need a little bit more information from you. I'm like, can you
Yes.
connect me with them? So he said, yes, our company does work for them, but they invited us to participate. So it's a construction company that does work there.
Right.
So he connected me with the pastor and met the lady. Her name is Ann Jones, and she's doing it again. And we had an opportunity to do an interview with Greg Wormuth, and she came on TV, and she said she wanted to make it clear that she walks, but she doesn't run, but she'll be doing it again. And they do this thing back at Orlando Lutheran Towers, which is right close to Lake Eola.
Right.
The residents that aren't participating will hang out, and they'll have music on the lawn. The chef creates favorites. They make it like a giant picnic, and they cheer on the residents that do participate.
As they come by. Wow.
That
so
is
their
amazing.
team is 150 people.
Wow.
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 Right? And so the average team size is 20.
And 150
150. So it's
They
called,
just snuck right under the radar, too. See? And you're like, who are these people?
like last year they had like 109. It was Orlando Senior Health Network. So didn't really know much about it. And so many of the people that participate are their residents.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they do their employees, and as I mentioned,
Yes.
their people they do business with. And that's the spirit of Corporate 5K. That's how it gets larger.
Yes.
It's
Right.
not just
It's
me in
contagious.
my
It's
office.
contagious.
Come join us.
Come join us.
Right.
And so I had an opportunity to visit with this lady. Her name is Ann. But I had to schedule her because she had another appointment where she was talking to the residents at Orlando Lutheran Towers about her recent trip to Chile.
Well,
So
this is why she's
we need-
90.
yes,
and
Healthy
91
and
this year,
right.
probably
Yes.
taking part again. Just keep moving.
Active,
Yes.
active,
And
active.
She's an inspiration.
She is
Absolutely.
an inspiration. She
Wow.
was just charming to visit with, and a very much of a can-do attitude. So
Love
that's my fun story.
Oh, I love it. It's a great story.
And we love when people tell us, what's happening in their offices, and what success stories, whether it be weight loss or
Yeah.
what other fitness transformation. We love hearing all those kinds of stories.
Yeah, because a lot of that does happen, or a lot of that transformation that somebody starts going through is born at a 5K. They do their first 5K, and they're like, "Oh,
That was really
I can
fun,
do this."
yeah.
Because a 5K sounds so intimidating.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
3 miles.
3.1 miles. People run it. Then they realize, oh, I can walk it, and then they'll do a little walk and running, like you
Yeah.
said. And
It's
they
very
just
much a
get
social event,
inspired.
too,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And she was with other of her peers.
Sure.
Her daughter was there as well, but she was walking unaided and finished in the darkness. So they looked like they had taken their time, because it starts at 6:45. So
Taking
Right.
some breaks here and there if
Taking
she
some
needed, but
breaks
she
and
still made it. That's
interacting
amazing.
with
And
the
finished.
bands and
Yeah.
such. We just happened to catch a picture of her where one of the entertainment venues is. There's 3 entertainment stops
Yes.
out there, and so that was just another one of those really neat stories about the true essence of the Corporate 5K.
Wow,
is
that is a
awesome.
great story.
That's a very inspiring story.
really is.
I love it
can-
that with this particular race, that regardless of where your fitness level is at, it's for everyone. It really
Yes.
is for
Yeah.
everyone.
That's
That's
great.
good. That's really good.
Yay.
Well, so we
Good
want to give
story.
a big thank you to you guys for coming out. It was a pleasure to chat with both of you. And I know this event's already huge, but hopefully we bring more awareness to it so it can grow even more.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity to be with you guys.
Thank you
Awesome.
so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Well, thank you guys for staying with us. We're going to do our information station.
That's right.
And Natalie and Christina are still with us. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the actual physiological benefits of volunteering, of giving back. So there's changes that happen in our body when this happens. It's science, which is really cool.
It's crazy to me, but it's super interesting.
And, I won't get too detailed and too scientific about it, but there's so many health benefits when it comes to this. I mean, it's been reported. There's research that's been done about it. But just to name a few of the things: stress levels down, down, down. I think like 96% of people that have a volunteering spirit say they have way less stress in their life. I mean, that's pretty significant. Most people go and get a pill to take to help relieve the stress. We could just get involved in the community a little bit and have, a 96% success rate. So how cool is that? And then some of the physical changes that can actually happen are like lower reduction of blood pressure. Wait.
Wow.
And then, of course, going along with the stress levels, depression lessens as well. So people get that sense of involvement in the community and that they're a part of something. So obviously it would hopefully take depression away from somebody. And besides that, it actually, some of the science behind it is that actual chemicals are released whenever we do something good for somebody else or help somebody else. And the natural painkillers, which are endorphins, and those are actually released whenever we do something for somebody else.
Right. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah. And our body has those natural things in it. We just have to figure out how to unlock that key. How do we get that? Well, just volunteer at the IOA 5K.
So there's literally no downside to giving.
There really isn't. There's none at all. Yeah.
There's one other opportunity. Well, there's two opportunities associated outside the corporate 5K. You can volunteer at Second Harvest. They have a robust program over there.
Yes.
And the other thing that our company likes to do in the summertime, when we don't have as many events going on, is we like to go serve lunch at Daily Bread, which is a program of the Christian Service Center. And
they do the Love Pantry as well.
They do the Love Pantry. But when you serve lunch at the Christian Service Center, you're serving to local residents that have an opportunity to get a free meal, and they do it 6 days a week. I think they do it.
Oh, that's great.
Sunday through Saturday, and there's a waiting list to do it, but we usually try to sign up for 1 or 2 days in the summertime, just because that's not quite as busy a time for us. But you're absolutely right. It's an eye-opening experience. All the food is donated and so forth, and you work your tail off. You serve probably 150, 200 meals in a very short period of time. But
there's those endorphins, though.
Yeah, your team is,
That's right.
everybody's
benefiting.
pouring soup, and somebody's, getting the flatware together, and, it's quite a production, but they do a great job of.
It's on our list now. That sounds great.
Good. The Christian
really
Service Center.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I've done an event for the Love Pantry before. I used to work for a company called Fit Life Foods in Winter Park, and we did an event where they were doing like a silent auction and stuff like that. And we had some food there, some goodies for them. And it was a nice event that they did down in Winter Park. Yeah.
Nice.
So
nice.
that's how I knew about them.
Yeah, you do feel better when you're helping somebody else, right?
You do.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever say that they go away feeling like, oh, why did I do that for the day? You do
and
not feel like that ever.
And not to harp on this theme too much, but there's also an abundance of that. There's not a lack in the universe of it. So it's not like you're going to give and then you're not going to have because you gave. So
that's right.
Of course, I'm going to take it to the technology side of things. But if you can't go to events like this for one reason or another, not even to just attend and cheer everyone on, the technology side of things has made it a lot easier to help as well. There's places like GoFundMe where you can do donations for different events. Most charities have the ability to donate online. Even Facebook has a thing now where you can set up a post for your birthday and which charity do you want to contribute to.
Yeah, I love that.
It really is neat. We've seen people do live streaming events. We were at the grocery store one time, and this guy was out there playing the saxophone, and I thought there was a tape or a band. It like really classed up the Publix parking lot. I was not that it was a bad parking lot, but I was like, what's going on? And it was a guy who was he was raising money. I don't remember the exact benefit, but he had a bucket there. Of course, you have to validate that your charities are actually putting the money, but another guy came up and started videoing him on a Facebook Live to get more people out there. And it just seemed really authentic. So there's so many ways you can help.
Yeah. And with the technology, I think it's so great to start instilling that in our children. I mean, my children are grown, but younger children, and maybe like the Facebook thing where you post and they pick their favorite charity. How great would that be to start that at very young ages? Because their birthday's all about them.
Right.
Start teaching them the humility and that giving spirit and make it a little bit about other people too on their birthday. That'd be a wonderful way for us to create even more volunteers and more people that are giving back in the community.
Idea. And at that age, they'll get excited. If they have to wait for that day to get involved.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, I just wanted to remind everyone that the IOA 5K, I don't even know if we said the date the whole time we're here, but it is next Thursday, April the 18th. And Angie and I will be there. Yeah. So look for us if you're going to be out there. And if you weren't planning to go out there and meet up with us.
Yeah. And it starts at 6:45, but you want us to be there probably around 5:15. Everybody needs to be there that early because it's hard to find parking. Hey, just park far away and then get a little more of a walk-in. That's what I say.
Get more steps
it's
in.
a warm-up. It's a warm-up.
That's what we'll do for sure.
And we've got some maps on there. We are trying to plus up our parking experience for our participants, but we've got some real robust maps on there that show where the parking garages are.
Right.
There's reference to a parking app that you can get where it shows you available.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, that's
parking garages and stuff like that.
Garages and
I'll put that on the site as well.
yes, and when you look at the parking map that we have, it shows the app that you can use. I think what it does is tells you what meters are available and things like that, what parking is available.
Oh, that's cool.
So I have a question for you then. Should participants or people that are just coming to watch, do they need to bring cash on hand in order to pay for the parking garages or vendors that are parking or anything like that, just so they can be prepared?
Yes, all the parking garages do charge.
Okay.
So whatever those rates are for the individual garages, people definitely want to be prepared for that.
I think that's a good thing to know.
Cash is always good, too.
Yeah, and they can bring like their own water and stuff like that.
Definitely.
One more question. So the office party area, that's really fun. Mm-hmm. Are people that are just coming to observe, are they allowed into that area? Or is that just for the people that are participating?
It is not restricted to people that are just participating. No one is asked to prove that they are with an event. You can still walk if you wanted to that night, but it's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah, there's about 250 hospitality tents that are around there.
Yes.
And as I said, about 600 companies. So
wow.
So yeah, it'd be hard to.
It's fun to walk around and watch how they're entertaining. They're participating.
Yes.
So you got cornhole going, you got games, you got music, beads with light up stuff, dancing.
Nice.
It's really fun.
I'm going to run out of film or digital film.
And I have to tell you, IOA does it among the best. They have a beautiful spread. They've got decor.
We do.
Very nice.
Yeah, Debbie Gross is their charity and
events coordinator,
and aptly named. She knows how to do it. They've got beads and they're all color coordinated. But you're right; it is fun to see what other people have in their tents. Yeah,
we are very excited.
I know.
Now I'm giving a couple shout outs. This part of the show, we always do a couple shout outs. One, I want to give to Nicole Felton. She's opening a brand new gym in the Wekiva Riverwalk called Hit Fit, and Nicole will be on the show a little further down the line. But congrats on the gym, and we're looking forward to coming there. And then I have a little bit of a strange shout out. So when we hit it big and Chris Hardwick is listening to this, Chris actually called out my books on his podcast, the ID10T podcast, along with the website. So I'm super thankful, and big shout out to Chris Hardwick. If you don't listen to the ID10T podcast, I highly recommend it. It's usually interviews with celebrities and stuff, but it's really fun and often very funny as well.
Yeah. And I like to just shout out all our family and friends who keep putting up with all of our posts saying, remember, April 11th.
That's right.
Here comes our podcast. But they've been very supportive, and they're always sharing. And we want to tell them that we're very thankful for all of them.
Absolutely, yeah. For someone that's like, stop bombing my post about your business. Now I'm kind of doing it, but I feel okay about it because the spirit of this really is to help. So
yeah.
But that's a good point. Thank all of you for that.
Yes.
And one big last thank you to Natalie and Christina for coming out and talking with us about the 5K. We can't thank you guys enough for that, and we're looking forward to the event.
And Natalie, did you want one more time to let everybody know where they can go if they want to still sign up
Very good
or
point.
come out and participate?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Registration is open through race night, so you can go to corporate5k.com and register, or on the event night, you just come out to one of the info booths. The one by the band shell or by the amphitheater is the one where they'll be taking registrations that night. If you haven't done it in advance, you can always come to the stage that night. And
all right.
Last minute, right?
We'll hook you up.
I'll put that link as well in the podcast description. So if you're listening to this on a podcast app, you should see that link in the description of this show. Also wanted to remind everyone, you can call into the show at 407-490-3899 or email us at feedback@fineanddangy.com. We'd love to hear from you if you have thoughts or questions or suggestions or something we talked about but maybe ran out of time for, or something we didn't talk about. We'll do our best to play your voicemail on the air or address your topic on the air. So we hope you've enjoyed this show. We want to remind you to rate, review, and subscribe. You can find us on all social media at Fine and Dangy. That's FINEAND, and it's DANJEE because Angie spells her name ANJEE.
I'm weird.
I love it.
I'm different.
It's very original, and all the domains are available.
Yes, they are.
Were.
They are, because it's such a strange spelling.
Yeah.
Yes. And then just to leave you a little bit of something positive to think about for the day, think about a way that you could make somebody else's life better today, whether that be through volunteering, giving to a charitable cause, smiling at somebody, opening the door. It doesn't matter. Do something outside of your comfort zone to make somebody else's life better, because a little bit of change from one person to the next can make a huge change in the world. So that's what we want people to kind of take away from this.
That's right. And I said something similar last week, but I also want to remind everyone that if you're going through extra stress or challenges, if you have health issues or anxiety or things that you're dealing with by yourself, it's really important to know that we've all got a lot more in common than you think. So don't be too hard on yourself.
Yes.
And, as I mentioned last week, we're also open to getting any communication via email or calls from the voicemail for that stuff too. And we'll definitely respond if you contact us about that. And we want to remind everyone, as we do with every show, that at the end of the day,
It's all fine and dangy.